You in the shower too, eh?
I just got out, man. The shower thoughts are flowing.
That's what I'm saying. You know what that means, right?
Obviously, I know what it means.
It's time to shower the audience with these thoughts.
I'll meet you at the communal shower right now.
See you there, bud.
Alright, Bled. Easy.
Bro, don't you guys always ruin it.
Come on.
I thought we were clapping. It's gonna take more editing for me to do.
This is the most. This is the burnest part of my day.
Okay, do it again.
Do it again. Yeah.
We'll clap before you clap.
Yeah.
You'll be the last clap.
And then you'll recognize your clap. So we all have.
Welcome to Shower Thoughts.
So we all have the clap.
Hopefully not. Hi. Welcome to Shower Thoughts with...
Oh, you also got to do it after I do it.
Now Jay, you also say it.
Hi there. Welcome to Shower Thoughts.
Great.
Your one-stop shop for showering and thinking.
And brown guys.
And brown guys with beards.
An unlimited supply of brown guys. You
With
thought there
beards.
was no more left?
You thought we tricked you with the last episode
they're
with Emily.
they're actually-
Psych, we're back.
Yeah.
There actually is no more left because I'm reusing me.
Yeah, we are reusing
Yeah.
you. For the third time,
Should probably
actually.
close.
Yeah.
It doesn't close much more than
But,
that.
Oh, so it does. So it does.
it does close.
Okay, no one can see it, so no one believes you.
Oh my
Exactly.
god.
Welcome back. Again, we all said it once, but Shower Thoughts with Saf and Sharif. I'm Saf,
I'm Sharif.
and this is Shower Thoughts with Saf and Sharif.
Oh, this is Jay.
And we have a special guest. At this point,
We gotta stop introducing him like they
Yeah,
know him.
we don't
Episode
know. Yeah,
1,
fair enough.
episode 3, and now episode 7, I believe this is
7.
gonna be.
Yes.
We got Senora
What?
Jayatanga
Sonora Jai Tanga.
in the shower with us. I feel like we've
Oh.
showered we've been showering too frequently together.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
It's unhealthy at this point.
I don't shower unless it's with one of you guys.
And
It's
that's-
been a while though.
But that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's what we ask for
Yeah.
from you,
from
the
all of you
viewers,
from the
viewers and
viewers,
listeners.
From ourselves.
from our guests.
Our standards
Yeah.
for ourselves are the same as the standards we tell other people.
Yes.
True. Just if you guys want to reach us, we are on Instagram at Shower Thoughts with SS.
You do this at the end.
And this is also, but like now they're engaged.
Yeah, no,
you
this
know?
is a good idea.
While they're
actually.
here, while they're
Keep
here.
going.
So like right now, you should be pulling out your phone, following us on Instagram.
Yes.
And then we're also on Apple Podcasts. So if you got to run, like you're late to work and just realize that, oh, this is longer than I thought, download us on Apple Podcasts or Soundcloud.
Yeah.
Links are in the description below. But other than that, us being the people that we are, didn't plan the topic for today.
Of course not.
Don't.
That's true. I should not have said
I mean,
that.
no. I mean, we have a
We're
plan.
open. We're open about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Subpar.
no.
We promised subpar from the first episode.
Exactly.
And you're
And
delivering.
We are delivering.
We promised, and we are following through on that promise.
Exactly.
Because honestly, promises.
Let's start out with promises. Actually, that'll be the first topic.
Promises are they're important if you make them important.
What, Jon Snow?
Jon Snow.
When enough
He knows nothing.
when enough people tell lies, words stop meaning anything.
That's
Wow.
true.
That's deep.
That's why promises are important.
Yeah.
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 But I think the most important promises are the ones that you make to
To
yourself.
yourself, absolutely.
Like you can't keep promises to other people unless you can keep a promise to yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can, but like you're better at it.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it's kind of like the golden rule. You know what I mean? Like treat others how you'd like to be treated.
Yeah.
But like in reverse, because if you try to like treat everyone like in such a nice way, but you treat yourself, badly, then eventually you're gonna collapse. So you gotta
Yeah.
keep those promises to yourself too.
You gotta treat yourself like you're taking care of
Someone else.
Yeah.
Self-love.
Yeah. Self-love. It goes back to
It
self-love.
always that
Oh, yeah.
self-love is the center of all things. It seems
is.
like
Yeah, it is.
as we get into these episodes. There was one thing that we were brainstorming and I really liked.
That one thing.
I really want to do the quotes thing.
Let's do the quotes then.
So we were talking about how we could just go, each of us share our favorite quote, and then analyze it, and then rip it apart, and also say what's good about the quote. Are we game?
I have a
Are we
quote.
getting
I have
the
a
shower?
quote already.
Holy.
Oh.
You came
So-
locked and loaded.
I say we start with the guest then, because
Yeah.
we are such great hosts.
Hosts.
Subpar.
Subpar.
host.
So like I guess we'll start with the guest.
Yeah. I guess.
I guess so.
I guess the guest.
I guess the guest that will go. I guess
I
the guest
guess
will go.
it's Jay. That's my guess.
I guess
for the
it's
guest.
Sonora.
Oh my god.
Wow, people.
There's two. So if you're watching, we actually have two guests,
We have two.
Jay and Sonora.
But not the third one.
Jay, what's your favorite quote?
Okay, so
What's your quote, Jay?
okay, so my favorite quote comes from a J.R.R. Tolkien poem.
Oh, I did not know we had to remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
Who does it?
darn.
So basically, the poem is it's like a nice beautiful poem. It talks about a bunch of contradictions,
That's-
a bunch of
That's
observations.
opinion, though. You
Sorry?
may think it's beautiful.
Okay, well, it's a beautifully written.
In your opinion.
It's
Objectively. Well, all right.
Okay, you can't say that.
That's no, you're right. I think it's beautifully written.
Okay.
Defeat the lies.
And like one of the best quotes, and a lot of people like put this on their Instagram. It's like all over
The
place.
captions, eh?
It's
The
all over the
captions.
captions.
That's the place for wisdom, Instagram
Yeah.
captions.
But it's like not all those who wander are lost.
You were waiting for it.
I thought,
Yeah.
It's actually not all over.
Is it not
Instagram.
all over Instagram?
Nah, man.
I haven't
don't know
seen
who
it
you
much.
follow.
Really?
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
you follow
okay.
a lot of like inspirational
Well,
accounts.
I just follow a lot of J.R.R. Tolkien accounts.
Oh, that's what
I
it
will
is.
do it
That's why?
because it is his quote. Yeah.
Shoot.
Or
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is actually like a
This is just you.
No.
nobody's heard this quote before.
Okay,
Not-
but like, I have a serious question.
Yeah.
In that situation, is wander spelled with an A or no?
It's spelled
Like,
with an A. Like
I-
wander as
I
in like
assume.
not all those who like wander
Wander.
around
Oh.
are lost.
Okay.
When is wonder ever
When you
pronounced
think.
wander?
When you think, is one with an O, W-O.
Wonder.
I was
No, well,
wondering.
he just thinks that I can't pronounce words properly.
Oh,
So he was double checking.
Oh, okay. 'Cause he's
No, I genuinely
immigrant.
always get.
Yeah, because I'm an immigrant, eh?
ESL, but low-key first language.
Shout out back to our last episode.
Yeah.
You gotta accept new people, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe he talks a little funny.
Yeah. What do you mean, you people?
Oh, I mean
Yeah.
you people.
I'm a people,
I feel,
Attacked.
yeah.
Good.
but not lost.
But not lost, because not all those who wander.
Wander.
English is hard.
Like wander.
Wander.
Okay.
Not
Come
all
on.
those who wander are lost.
Now
Exactly.
explain what that
So,
means to you.
so what that means, I guess, like the natural interpretation of it is like, if you're wandering around, you're not sure where you're going with your life, and you're like, man, I have no purpose, I have no direction, I have no goal, I have no drive. I'm literally just walking around in circles and like random places. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're lost. And the next step, which is my interpretation, I think it doesn't mean you're lost because you have to have that period of wandering to kind of find yourself and find your purpose. So just because you don't know where you are doesn't mean you're lost. You're still searching.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of different interpretations. That's just kind of mine.
What's a different one?
A different one. There's the physical one. Like if you're wandering around different places, like if you want to be I don't know, like say you want to be like a doctor, right? And you're like, oh man, I really like being a doctor, but I also love being a comedian. And then you kind of do both, and you kind of mess up both. You're kind of wandering around, but you're not necessarily lost. Because hopefully, or not hopefully, because that does make you who you are. So kind of being lost makes you who you are, therefore you're not lost, you're not losing yourself, you're actually finding yourself by wandering.
Wait, sorry. So you just said that you're lost, but you're not lost?
Like other people will say you're lost,
Okay.
but you're not lost. Like objectively you look like you're lost,
Yeah.
but because you're wandering.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this
okay,
quote.
let's do the next
I don't
one.
like
No, let's keep- let's talk about it.
Why
don't
let's
you
talk
like it?
about it?
Let's
Yeah.
talk
Actually,
about
yeah, why don't you like it?
I don't. It just seems so ambiguous. Like
It's
not
very
all those.
it's
Like
very
for me, there
ambiguous.
should be a part where it's like, not all those who wander are lost.
He's the immigrant.
I actually am probably the most recent immigrant.
Wait,
so like,
what
thanks
year?
Oh,
thanks for
no.
making me stick out like that. Unbelievable.
Jay, come on, man. You gotta be.
Unbelievable.
You gotta be better than
Anyways, back to the
Okay,
quote.
I mean,
Not all those who wander are lost. Like for
Yeah.
me, it's like okay, but like, what makes the difference? Like, who are the ones that get
Oh,
lost? What
yeah,
do they
yeah.
do differently versus the
Yeah.
others?
no, you're, like it doesn't specify
what I
who is
mean?
not all, basically.
Yeah.
No, that is true. It's vague.
that. Like, what if you are subjectively lost?
You mean
Like, if you are lost, then you
Yeah.
also will wander.
That's true. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like somebody could be going nowhere with their life and actually be lost.
Yeah.
And like the same person could be going nowhere with their life and like not be lost, but there's no criteria to differ in
Like,
them.
who defines lost?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what is
Yeah.
lost? Like, whenever you look into a situation, you're like, this person has been like traveling for 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, like saying they're discovering themselves. They haven't discovered themselves. You're like, oh, they're so lost. But like, if you check in with that person 2 years, what, is my voice too low, man? You just can't keep moving it closer to me?
Sir, I just
Saying
want to
I'm
make sure that the
whispering right
fans
now?
are hearing you and
Yeah.
this wisdom that you're dropping.
Because we're hearing the fan.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, 2 years after you assess that situation, that person might be in the best position of their life because they were in that. I feel like
Wait, that's what this quote is saying, though.
I think it's like, as long as you're wandering, you're kind of lost, but like being lost is part of finding something.
Well, that's what
Like
the quote
Discovery
is saying.
Channel,
Yeah.
let's get lost. It's like there is something in getting lost. You find something.
Wait, dude, that's you just explained why you love the quote.
I don't think I did.
You kind of did.
Yeah, like that's.
But I think what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I think like the quote makes it sound that being lost is a bad thing, and you're saying being lost isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the quote says that being lost isn't a bad thing as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think.
It doesn't sound like it is what we're saying. I think.
You know what I think? I think that we all have different biases. However, we have our own interpretation of the quote, and it makes it sound different when actually it might be more similar than we're realizing. That's what I think.
Okay. Let's go to the next quote.
Saf, after you, Safaruni. Safaruni pizza.
But
But
go
that's
on.
his last name.
Yeah, but it's halal.
But it's so long.
But go on.
Off the top of my head, a quote that I will just lift off top of my head. I actually have this like written on a calendar in my home, in my room, and it says.
Everyone, close your eyes and picture Saf's room.
All right.
With a calendar.
Not with
and
a
this
black.
quote.
Not with a black light though.
No, definitely not.
With a regular light.
With a normal light. Why would it be a black light? It's a normal light. And yeah, there's a calendar there's the McMaster calendar with the 4 months.
Okay, gotcha.
You gotta do the 4 months. Like
4 months.
1 month is like way too, like you gotta look in the head, look at the future, be prepared. So in that there's a notes section. In that notes section it says, rule your mind or it will rule you.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an open for interpretation quote. Very open for interpretation.
Extremely.
That's how all quotes should be, right? They have to kind of just speak to you
Well,
in
not
a way.
really, 'cause
Well, I
like-
think it makes it more relevant to you when you can relate it to it in your own way.
I'm just like, I took my car into a mechanic and he
Yeah.
gave me a quote and he was like, this is not open to interpretation. I was like, well, don't I have maybe
Oh
my interpretation?
my.
It's a little less.
He just pulled that.
And he's like, no, this is a very literal quote. So I just don't. Sometimes they're not. That's all I'm saying.
You know what, Jay? Yeah, fine. Fine. Sometimes, not all
You know what it
quotes
is? We just
are-
hit a workout. All the blood is in his arms right now.
Oh, Jay, you gonna take that?
It's actually in my shoulders.
You have
So-
That's
cerebral
true.
ischemia right now.
No, I do. I'm actually very lucid right now because
Oh.
we actually did go really hard. I hit 3 PRs today.
Yeah, you did.
Holy.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
On what?
No, only because of this guy.
For what?
Squat, deads, and biceps.
Squat
Dude,
does and
it was
biceps.
you actually.
No,
You did it. I was
never-
just there.
No, I believe you gave me your energy.
Honestly, I believe that too. Sharif will funnel his energy into you.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
The quote.
Anyways, rule your mind or it will rule you. So, to me,
And that's
what
how
it-
you PR.
and that's how you PR.
Let's get off. I feel bad. Let's get off the PR thing.
No, honestly,
This
like we
is
should talk about.
celebration.
This is
Let me
about
use the
Sasquatch.
PR as the example.
All right.
Okay, so when you PR, when you're working out, right? It's all mind over matter.
Yeah.
That extra rep, you have to just mentally be able to do it, right? Like a lot of the time, like physically you feel like you can't, but the only thing that like stops you from pushing through is just in your mental. It's like giving up in that last moment, right? So if you don't take control of your own mind, your mind like, oh man, I'm tired, I'm gonna stop, and it'll tell you to stop if you don't take control of it, right? Because it's just like a natural reaction to take the easiest, the route of least resistance,
Right.
which is decreasing the resistance on your PR, right?
Which is,
The root of least well done.
like
man.
that, eh?
Well
Right?
done.
which is also the root of all evil.
Oh God, it is the root of
Yeah.
never of least resistance. You shouldn't go that.
No.
It should always be as much resistance. Growth is
That's your quote too. Embrace discomfort.
embrace
Seek
discomfort.
discomfort,
Yeah.
baby.
Seek and then embrace discomfort. And so like, in that example. But if we then kind of digress away from that example, just in general, I think I said this on like the very first podcast of how I think we are a bundle of habits. Like the 90% of decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis are just based off of habits that you have, like where you eat, what you do, what time you wake up at, what time you go to bed, what you do when you are bored, what you do when you get on an elevator, what you do when you're walking somewhere, what you do when you say hi to someone. Like all of these things are very automatic to us and we don't notice. So like I personally don't like the idea of being on autopilot all the time and being automatic, because then you're kind of living through life on autopilot and you don't really like take control. It's like you're.
Yeah, it sounds like my last blog.
Yeah, true. Living on. I remember that. I read that blog. Shout out to Sharif's blog. You can plug. Want to plug that?
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
All right, yeah.
I'll put it
Is
in
it
the
WordPress
description.
or
It's Wiz.
Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah.
Oh, Wix.
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 W-I-X.
Wix is what-
Solid blog. It was a good blog.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, like I think like self-discipline is one of the most important things that you can have.
100p.
There's so many quotes that say discipline equals freedom. Like that doesn't sound right, but it truly is. When you have discipline, and how I define discipline is like you are a disciple of your values.
That's good. That's
Right?
good.
You are a student of what you value, and your decisions are based off of those values. So your discipline is based off of like other things won't waver you because you are so disciplined in what you actually care about.
Yeah.
So I want to be like conscious of that. So to be conscious of that, you have to practice self-discipline, but also willpower, right? So when you like construct willpower, when you have a stronger reserve of willpower, you can start ruling your mind and ruling what decisions you make. So for example, like for the longest time, and to this day, I struggle with getting out of bed in the morning because
Well, that's because your bed is in like a pit. Like
Yeah.
it's actually hard to climb out.
Yes, no. It
Yeah.
takes about like 45 minutes for me to climb and scale the
Yeah.
wall.
That's why I'm like, just
Um,
have a normal one. Like don't.
No, but like that's the point. Like I want that challenge
I see.
because I'll push myself through it, and once I
And
get
you
through
control
it,
It's just training for the brain.
You're a
controlling
you're a
the brain.
disciplined disciple.
yes, yeah, I'm a disciple of discipline, and that's the plan for me.
Okay.
This is the plan.
Wow.
Okay, sorry.
So I struggle getting out of bed.
Yeah, so I started get like I wasn't a morning person for like basically all my life, and then I wanted to become a morning person. As all things do, it relates back to the MCAT. I was like, the MCAT's at 8
Dude,
a.m.
literally, like the MCAT has come up way too
Yeah.
many times in this body
New-
because like it just ruins
ruins
lives.
everyone's
It ruins lives. We have so many reoccurring things.
If you're out there and you're writing the MCAT this
Shout
summer,
Shout out.
Stay
to
strong.
You.
Respect
Power
to you and just
Respect.
push through, honestly.
push through. It's a beast. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes. Do
It's
more
actually a
practice tests.
sprint for a long time.
Actually, yeah.
It's like a
a
sprint.
PR marathon.
You're sprinting marathon distance.
Yeah, it's a marathon at a sprinting pace. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, and you have to get
That keyword
faster.
is better.
You have to get faster as you go
Yeah.
too. It's not like you slow down.
No,
You have to-
which is wild.
yeah.
So how does it tie to you when you were writing the MCAT?
So when I was writing the MCAT, kind of, I knew the MCAT was at 8 a.m., so I had to be functioning by 8 a.m. And I was not a morning person. I was waking up much later than 8 a.m. But I was like, you know what? This summer I have to like start learning to wake up earlier. So I started trying to self-discipline myself to become a morning person. So when I'm ready in that morning to write, like I'll be fully functioning. So that was the beginning of my journey of becoming a morning person. And then ever since then, I've tried to push myself to get out of bed. And that decision to get out of bed is the first decision of the day. And I know for a fact that if I fail on a decision, the rest of my day is going to be affected.
Yeah.
So if I get up out of bed at 6 a.m. and I get up, I turn my alarm off, and I go back to bed, my whole day will have kind of a weight on it of like I failed my first
Yeah.
test of willpower. I failed to rule my mind. It ruled me. It was like, no man, just like go
Because your
back to
thoughts
bed.
get in the way, and then for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
those thoughts affect all your future decisions. So your mind is ruling you.
Exactly. Right.
Wow.
But also like I truly believe there's a reserve of willpower that you have. There's different theories. There's like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
say that you have a reserve of willpower. The more
Yeah.
you use it, the less you have. So people like that's why they say wearing the same outfit every day is good because you don't have to choose anything.
I've heard that in terms of like decision
capacity.
capacity.
Yeah, which is kind of like willpower, being
Yeah.
able to make decisions.
I think they're slightly different, but I get what you mean.
Similar,
Yeah.
but like different. And so like I think working on seeing every decision as an opportunity to practice your willpower, I think strengthens your willpower for the future.
Because it's like a skill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You can get better at it.
It's like a muscle.
Sorry, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, come on.
A
That
skill?
was the easy. Skills are useless.
What is a... Muscles are only
You can't
useful.
flex skills.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When's the last time a skill helped you bench press? Never.
Never. Doesn't matter skill, technique.
No.
Sheer power and strength. And so you have to just keep pushing.
Everyone turns off the
It's
podcast.
like meatheads.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's my favorite quote because I think for a lot of my decisions in life, like my mind does still rule me. Like I'll make things on a split decision, like even like little things like, oh, for a while I was getting like booster juice and bubble tea like every other day.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, because it was just like
So bubble tea after this?
probably
No,
Yeah,
no. Because we're not gonna let our mind rule us.
It's actually my stomach ruling me right now.
Well,
But your stomach is connected to your mind.
yeah. But not all those who wander are lost. So let's wander over.
Bro, I don't like that quote. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Yo, that's a classic quote. All that glitters, man.
Yeah, no, that's the end of it basically. Like I want to be able to, I never want to be like subject to my mind's desires or my mind's like whatever my like id or whatever my very primal instinct wants. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be subject to that. I want to take
You want
control.
to be
of
the
my life.
ego.
Yeah.
The one that controls the id and is like, here, these are our long-term goals. Let's work toward those. Let's not do the
This
short-term
guy with
pleasures.
the theories, man. He
Freudian.
just knows all. He's a Freudian. Dude,
Everything.
but I vibe with that so hard, man. Like
Yeah.
I really, like these past 2-ish years, I've really become, dude. Ever since David Goggins, ever since reading his book and hearing his story, I didn't read his book. Ever since listening to his book, and
You don't know how to read, right?
Yeah.
And,
All right.
both.
Wait, this is why the links are never in the description. You put the links in this
He
video.
he does a speech to text thing.
Yeah.
It works out.
But basically, like, for me, was when I was training for. I had 4 really bad injuries back to back, and I just like dropped off the fitness wheel. Like, I was going down this. I was at the best shape of my life. All these injuries back to back. Every time I try to go back, like, I'd get injured, and my mind kept telling me like, "Oh, don't do it. You're gonna get injured again. There's no point. Just manage your injuries or whatever. Go back in the gym." I'm like, I don't even want to work out. I'm just gonna get injured, so I would half-ass my workouts. My mind was controlling me. I wasn't in charge. And then it's like social support is what got me there. One of my buddies was like, "Dude, I'll sign up. Let's do a marathon together." Like my boy Josh, we worked together a shift. Josh Del P. We were working together at Papa Paul's gym.
I know Josh Lopez.
Yeah, Josh Del P.
Hey,
we
everyone
were
out there, Saf knows somebody.
Just letting you know, I know one person.
He knows
at
one
least.
person outside this room.
So we decided we're gonna do this marathon together, and that was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And like, he'd run 1K, call me up, be like, "Dude, I ran 1K," so I'll be like, "Okay, I'll run 1K." And we just kept going back that way, that social facilitation.
Nice.
But one day, like, I had trained up to 5K, and I went to run 6K. I got to 2K, and then I was just so sore and stopped. And then I sat there, it was like 2 days ago. Like, I went home that day, told Josh, he messaged me, and I was like, just finished my 6K, sent me a picture, I was like, damn. I was like, 2 days ago. Like, being the competitive person I am, it got to me. And then B, it was just like, my mind was telling me, like, told you, man, you're getting injured. That's why you were sore. That's why your, like, muscles were getting... But that was, like, muscle soreness. And I just sat down, thought about it. I was like, what if I had pushed through that soreness barrier? I was like, at 2K, I did feel sore. But, like, I know I could do more than 2K because I straight up did a 5K. And also, it's like, he did it too, and we've been training for the same amount of time. So it's just gaining that awareness. I got on the treadmill again. All these runs were on the treadmill, so that was a controlled variable. I got on the treadmill the next day, and then was like, once I feel that soreness, I'm going to literally distract my brain in any way, shape, or form. Tell my body, you're not stopping. We're going to, just out of curiosity, let's see what's over this hill. Like, the soreness is going to suck, but let's get over this hill and see what's next.
The hill would always stay the same distance because it was a treadmill.
Yes, Jay.
Sometimes you
Yes,
don't
Jay.
have to make it.
No?
All
All right.
No, I'm kidding. No, please do. Please
So
do.
your new quote, because I don't believe what you think, should be the wise man says nothing. Says little. Freaking little. Anywho, I was
Gangsters move in silence. And Jay, you shouldn't talk a lot.
You know what? I'm not even the main guest. You know what I mean?
like, you know, we basically
Sonora is,
introduced
Sonora.
ourselves.
Sonora
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But it was like, let's just push past that. Like, I'm gonna take control. My mind is gonna tell me, yo, body's telling me this hurts, stop. And I'll be like, no, we're actually gonna keep going. So, believe it or not, 2K again. At that mark, that's when the soreness, the lactic acid started kicking in at the pace that I was going at again. And I was like, nope, you're gonna pull through. I literally started counting bricks on the wall in front of me to distract myself from the soreness. I started like counting steps, anything to get through it. I went into this like flow state, kind of dazed state, and then came back, realized I was at 7K. And then I was like, whoa, me quieting down my mind. I was like, yo, this kind of hurts. Being smart about it too. Like, you don't want to push yourself to injury. Knowing that it was just muscle soreness, I was like, okay, I could push through this. And I knew that I had to run 5K already. So I quieted it down. I was like, okay. And then you get high off that. It's so addictive when you develop the skill of like control over your own life and control over your mind, that I was like, you know what? Let's see what more I can do with this control. So I kept running. I actually did a 10K run that day. And 10K doesn't sound a lot, but that was like 10K continuous, even though like 2 days prior, I ran 10K and quit. And story that's very similar to this.
You mean 2K? You ran 2K and quit?
Yeah, 2K
Yeah.
then quit. I don't know what I said, but
It's okay.
I'm sure I messed up. Because I always do.
No, hey, man. Hey.
Yeah.
No, you
And
did,
self-love.
you
And
did
true
good.
story.
You did good.
You did well.
You're doing great, sweetie.
He did well.
Thank you. But like for me, that was it was so addictive, that feeling of like taking control and be like, I make decisions. Because I literally walk out of the gym, you're on this life high, that self-efficacy. We all know that self-efficacy is such a basic human need, that want to feel that you're in control of your life and good at stuff. So it translates to like school, it translates to the rest of your life for the rest of the day. You're gonna phone call, we'll deal with that later. But two other examples of that, it's not just me. Like when we were raising money for Motion Ball, I convinced Jay and our other friend Tyler, these guys are not cardio trained.
No.
This man,
They're not fit.
No, I am
like,
unfit.
Like, I'm not even that fit, but like
Just
I have more
well,
cardio training. But no, I'm not. Like
Compare.
that was
It's
something.
Well,
compare.
you do 20Ks and I do 0Ks.
Anyways,
Okay.
like Jay, what was your longest run up to that point?
Probably a 5 or 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 or 10K.
And like 2 years ago, like 2017.
Yeah. And this was like
Yeah.
last month. We had raised money, and like we had a challenge where if we get this much money, we'll run this much, and so on. So we raised money and had to in one day run 20K, swim 2.5K, and then bike 25K. Again,
plus
him.
plus a cardio circuit, like the tuck jumps, the push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him and Tyler, no training prior to.
Him
The
and-
average human would be like, I'm not going to do that. Even in the moment, they were like, I'm not going to do that. I physically cannot. We
Yeah.
woke up that morning.
5 a.m.
Us at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Us three went on that run, 20K. Last 20K, believe it or not, last 2K of the 20, the boys were limping. By boys, I mean Jay.
Yeah, I was limping.
But like
Oh,
he got
man.
through it. He got through it.
Yeah.
Then we went to the swim right after. Jay learned how to swim in January, but because he was with us and like he wanted to keep going, like dude, if I'm reaching too far and this isn't true,
Yeah.
like jump in.
Of
But
course.
he did finish 2.5K swim, and like the average human would be like, I'm not swimming 2.5 kilometers. If you watch this guy's stroke, he looks like he's drowning. He was drowning for 2.5
I drowned.
kilometers.
I was gonna say the only correction I have is I was drowning for 2.5.
The lifeguard was walking by the side
She
of
was
the pool watching him.
She was like, "Is your friend drowning? Can I help him?"
2.5 kilometers, got it done. Then we went for the 25K bike ride, and that was like done. But we spoke about it at the end, and it was like, boys, at what point did you want to quit? And
one kilometer
literally
in.
every single
Yeah.
person said 1 or 2 kilometers in. Once you realize like your mind starts getting to you and telling you like, what are you signing up for?
Yeah.
Like you're about to do this. Like it already hurts now. The same way that in my run, at 2 kilometers, I was like, yo, this hurts. But I actually did 10K, like 5 times that. The same way that, like, that first 1 or 2 kilometers was nothing. But her mind was like, yo, this already hurts and you're doing so much of it. But when we quieted it down, and we all said the reason we didn't talk up was because the other 2 weren't talking.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be the person to make everyone, like, quit.
Yeah.
So because we were all thinking the same thing at the same time, we all pushed through. And honestly, we've been on a high since. And, like, we've been doing challenges since that we never thought we could do. And we're just average Homo sapiens.
Yeah. Like, we're not strong.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Well, we're all, like, average Homo sapiens too, which
capable
is like
of so much,
Yeah.
but we let our mind take control. Because 4 days later, I was telling this story about, like, hey, I did this with my friends when I was coaching at F45 the day after. A friend from there, Basha, reached out to me and was like, I'd love to go on a run with you. Like, it sounds like you're getting into this stuff. 4 days later, so literally 5 days from when we did that thing, I was like, what's the longest distance you've ever run? She tells me 8 kilometers. I was like, sweet, let's push it. Let's go to 10 kilometers. We go out for a run 5 days after I'd done this challenge, 4 days after she reached out. And I'm like, okay, we're pushing it to 10K. We meet up at Burlington Waterfront. I'm like, we're going to run to this fish and chips restaurant over here and then run back. Halfway through the run, she's like, how far is this restaurant? I'm like, oh, it's like 8.6 kilometers. And then she's like, so we're going to get there, stop, and walk back? I was like, we'll decide when we're there or something like that. I was like, we'll try to run back. We get there, stop for a minute. I'm like, hey, let's run back. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to run back. She was like, along the run, she realized I was going to make her run back. So we get back, and, like, this girl never before had run more than 8 kilometers up to that point. We run back. We're at, quick math, 17.2 kilometers. Whoa. We're literally celebrating, high-fiving each other. And I'm just like, Basha, like, you went from 8 kilometers to 17.2. That's more than double. And then I was like, you know what? If you run 4 more kilometers, you will have completed your first half marathon distance. She just looks at me, sees the crazy look in my eyes, and she was like, well, I can't say no to that. We literally run in circles around the block until the app says distance 21 kilometers, stop. I'm like, you went from 8 kilometers to an untrained half marathon. And that was just something over the day. Like, she had never thought that we would ever run that distance, and we still joke about it to this day. But, like, if you control your mind, because, like, can you imagine how high you feel after that? Like, going from 8 kilometers to 21, like, what else in my life am I stopping short of? Like, what else in my life do I think that I can only do X amount, but I can actually do, like, 5X? Because literally she went from 8 to 21. That's
so
almost 3
times. The magic
times.
number is 3x.
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 Isn't that nuts?
Triple X.
That is nuts.
Well, you didn't even do 3X, because you
No.
went from, like, longest distance being like a 5K run to a 20K run, a 2.5K swim, and a 25K bike ride all in one day.
I just think calling it a swim is like a little...
A drown.
Yeah, a
A
drown.
2.5K drown.
I did...
Longest drown.
Listen, if you're
Guinness
listening and
World
you're like,
Records.
oh, 2.5K swim, that sounds easy. Try drowning for 2.5K and then
You ain't been in water until you've been drowning 2.5.
Yeah.
Take in, he does not know how to freestyle
I don't
swim, so he did a 2.5K breaststroke.
A poor breaststroke.
A bad
breaststroke.
breaststroke.
Like
a bad stroke.
Dude, breaststroke is tiring because it's explosive.
Also, I was splashing. Like, I don't know how to breaststroke either. I was splashing the whole way there.
And we were filming. That video's dropping soon, so
Okay.
please follow me on YouTube. Also, link in description.
Nice.
So much shameless self-promo, but
Wow,
anyways,
so shameless.
in the footage,
We're
you'll
both
see
recoiling.
that we were in the fastest lane because the lifeguard was like, if you're filming, like, that one was empty at the time we got there, so she was like, use the fast lane. And then the MAC varsity swimmers started coming in the pool, and they're like, yo, is your friend, like, is he close to 2.5K? Like, some of them came, did their sets, and left. Like, these are MAC varsity swimming athletes.
Like, no
Then the
splash.
next day, texted me and was like, did your friend Jay get to, like, 1 kilometer? Like, yo, he did the full 2.5 kilometers in 2 hours.
That's insane.
Because they
That's
saw
what I'm
me. They
saying.
were like,
I've been swimming for so long, and I can't even imagine.
Dude, if that's
Yeah.
not controlling your mind, I don't know what is. Just
Yeah.
tell me how you felt. Like,
How did you
they've
do
heard
that?
my perspective.
well,
Like, what was going through your mind?
well, because, like, so in the first hour, I was, like, trying as hard as I could, and, like, I swam 1K in 1 hour. And like we only had an hour left in the pool, so I was like, all right.
It was 2 hour open.
hours,
So
yeah.
you worked there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, so there's no way I'm gonna make it if I did 1K in 1 hour, and like that's my stroke, that's my splashing speed. Like I'm not gonna make it.
It's my
like,
drowning pace.
That's my drowning pace. I'm like, all right, well, like this is like, you know, I'll do my best. I'll do 2K, and then like I don't know, like when I was in it, I was just thinking, like, come on, man, like
Come on, man.
yeah, like you're better than this, right? Like you can't just say that you're gonna give up before you've actually tried. So like I was like, all right, you know what? Like no more resting. Like I'm gonna just like touch like basically touch the wall and just keep going. Like no more resting at all. Not even for like 2 seconds. And so that's how I made my 1.5K in the remaining 1 hour. And I just didn't need to rest because I was like, I think
High off that control.
I think I got
bro.
into that flow state of just
Yeah.
like, this is my goal. Like nothing else matters. And actually, you guys know the Loop Fiasco song, like Kick Push.
Yeah, kick, push,
Yeah.
kick, push.
I was literally like through my entire mind, like all I was thinking was just like swim or like stroke,
Yeah.
or like breathe, like stroke.
You focus
breathe,
on the small
stroke,
thing.
breathe.
Like you focus, zone in. You don't let your mind tell you like,
Exactly.
yo, you got 2.5 kilometers
No,
left.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
let me just focus on this one stroke.
I just gotta do- I
let's
just
hit
gotta
this
do-
one
yeah.
stroke.
Exactly.
Let me just do this one stroke.
Literally,
This one stroke,
yeah.
and then stroke after stroke after stroke. You see Sharif with like big goofy smile on his face, waiting for you outside the pool. Go like, dude, you
Yeah.
freaking, I almost cussed. I was like, his 1-year-old nephew's here.
Yeah,
Okay. If you're listening, you can still listen.
Don't
Don't make fun of him.
But
He's learning how to
dude,
shoot.
I was so psyched for this guy because
Yeah,
I was like
that's
done.
huge.
I was like done waiting outside, like talking to the lifeguards, like, and that's when I heard them go like, "Yo, your friend looks like he's about to drown." But literally, I was like, it was powerful, man. Seeing him do that, the way that he was swimming, knowing how like endurance-wise, he's so untrained.
So untrained.
It was nuts, man. Like
Dude,
I was
wow.
so happy for you.
That honestly, yeah, huge. Like very proud, cause like I don't think, like any human can do it, but it's like the mindset. Like not every person has that mindset. Everyone has like most people have the body or like the physiology to do something like that, but like the mindset to like push through that is ridiculous. But like just going off of that, like you were just thinking of every stroke, right? And that's you just had to do the next stroke, and then you'd get to the next
that
one,
simple.
right?
Exactly.
So
Stroke
if you
three.
like just going back to kind of like all the way back to like the waking up in the morning, if you can do that one thing, like it'll allow you to do the next thing.
Yeah.
You can just like if you just focus your energy and put it all into this one task and just do it to the best of your ability, like, and then keep doing that to every task. It's like Will Smith had this like story of him and how his like dad told him like they tore down a wall and they made him to rebuild it. And he's like, the first brick you lay down, make it the most perfect brick laid down ever. Like, make it perfect.
One brick at a time.
One brick at a time, and then do the next brick, right? And do the exact same with the same perfection. And eventually you get really good at laying down bricks, and they'll be perfect with so much less effort.
Yeah.
So like it's just practicing that and pushing through it. Like keep push, kick, push. Like push.
Don't say too many lyrics though, because we will get copyrighted.
All right.
Yeah, it's
sorry.
true. True.
That's all good. If
Yeah.
we get copyrighted, it's because you keep singing songs out of nowhere.
Yo, but it's literally that. Like, you just do one of those things, and like, it sparks something within you. Like, once you realize that you've only been settling for X when you're capable of 3X. Like, dude, do you remember? Like, we were so high after the
Yeah.
20K,
I
like the
w-
run.
I was
We were like, boys, it's 8 a.m. People are waking up
Yeah.
for work, and we just ran a half marathon.
That's insane.
Like,
Like, could you imagine?
Man,
You
I was
woke up
lucid
5
that entire
a.m.
day.
You ran. Like, dude, honestly, the swim and bike were a joke because it was just like you're so high
Well,
off.
the swim
that.
was not a joke to me.
Well, he was drowning.
Whatever. Easy.
But like, do you remember how high we
No,
felt?
I remember,
after
like,
that?
I was high the entire day. I was just like, I was lucid.
You were doing it because it was
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and then, like the day after too, I was in pain. I didn't move the day after. I was
Yeah.
so much pain.
So I think like
Yeah.
a good way to get around that, like controlling your mind, doing things that you thought were challenging, is do
Yeah.
it with someone else.
Yeah.
Because like
Find
it is common.
yeah.
Like a competitive person, if you're two competitive people together, like no one wants to be the person and be like, I'm throwing the towel in.
Exactly.
And like you're both probably thinking it, but you're like, oh, they look like they're doing it so effortlessly. I can't just like,
yeah.
I can't display weakness.
So true.
And then you talk once you guys are done and realize you were both
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know something that Sharif you actually said when me, you and Ty met up is like like boys, like I just want to find like-minded people who will push me.
Yeah.
And I think if you can find like-minded people who can push you, like no matter what you're
I
doing.
want to develop that control.
Because like whether it's like fitness, career, like lifestyle, like traveling, like whatever you're into, if you find people that have similar goals and will push you, like you're golden.
Cloud 9, baby.
You're on cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
Yeah.
Cloud 10.
I've been on cloud
10.
Cloud 10 out of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What cloud is that?
That's cloud 11, boys.
Oh,
One,
that's
one
cloud.
day.
One
That's
day.
cloud.
That's
Cloud 11.
That's cloud 11. Yeah, the big day.
Yeah, the big.
If by chance we get there.
Yeah.
By
The
chance.
You know what I think we should do? We should leave them on a cliffhanger as to what my quote is, and then we can have a full discussion on that.
That's true. We are
We're 40 minutes in.
Yeah, running.
Oh,
out of
are we?
time.
Oh my god, I thought we were like.
That
I
flew by. That second
thought it was
quote
like
just
15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like,
That
we're
was
just getting
good. I was
started.
so high just remembering
man.
all that stuff.
I wanted I went into a zone just going back to that day, and I was like,
I'm fired up. Like,
Yeah.
boys,
I got
you wanna go
FOMO
for a
right now. I
run?
wish I was
Yeah.
in pain with you guys.
Dude, it's literally that. And yo,
You hurt me!
I wish I had pain.
I control your mind! It doesn't hurt!
Yo, but I think flow state is an adaptation of like wanting to take control. Because like, for example, you start feeling sore and you're like, buddy, sorry man, like we're pushing through this pain.
Yeah.
Your body's like, okay, self-preservation, I don't want this to hurt, what am I gonna do?
Stop
So it
the
goes
pain.
into that flow state where you're literally like, it almost feels like you're taking out of your body and you no longer feel the pain.
Like you see
it's
yourself
only if
in
you
third
think
person.
about your legs and like where the pain is coming from, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
But like your body's like, okay, your mind just goes like, okay, if we're gonna do this, I want it to be as smooth as possible. So as long as you tell your mind that find a way to do it, because we're gonna do it. Like I'm gonna keep going. You want to feel pain? Okay, so be it.
Yeah.
And then your mind's like, okay, relax. Let's make this as smooth as possible. Flow state.
Yeah. I think that also applies to like studying and stuff too. If you're like, no matter what, I'm gonna do this, your body's like, all right, I guess I'll adapt.
Yeah, and yo, that's one
Yeah.
of the things. You do go into flow state studying. People will say it all the time. They're like, leave me alone. I'm like in a really
In
good
the
flow
zone.
right now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in the good zone. Just leave me alone.
Don't let me
And-
get in my zone.
Yeah.
No, it's straight up like that because it also applies to studying, putting in work. People will walk in on, or you'll sit down and study, and then you'll be like, oh, I can't, like, I'm not finding it. This is so boring or whatever. You're like, there's too much work. I'm not in the right headspace. But if you just sit there and like commit to it, like not say, oh, I can't focus right now, let me take a break, because then there's always going to be that X you got to get through before you reach the flow state. So if you keep like getting right to the edge of X, and right when it starts getting hard, like the hill, you're like, nope, I'm
Pick
going
your
to try
phone
the
up.
hill another day.
pick the
Yeah.
phone
But
up
if
and
you
lose.
commit to the hill, then you finally make it over the hill, and then it's the downhill that you
Yeah.
wanted. And we're getting kicked out, so we will be forced to leave you on a cliffhanger for the third quote.
Yeah.
But
This
you
is a
guys
good.
wrap up.
This
I
is a
spoke
good
lot.
idea. This is a good.
Yeah.
Lee,
Lights out.
You're
Out
really
like a
kicking
light.
us out.
Oh,
Jeez.
man, like
But
Um,
you wrap up because I spoke way too much.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Stop,
These
bring it
are
home.
all valid thoughts. Okay, so
So basically,
No, you said he'd wrap
I
up
liked
already.
your quote, but not
I will say I like how we kind of started with a quote and then we went off into like willpower.
yes,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think that is such an important topic
That's
to me.
such an important
It's not even on the list of topics that I have, but like I think about it.
Oh, so
every
just
day.
delete the podcast. It's not on the list.
It's not on the list. Actually,
Yeah.
this one doesn't count.
Yeah, guys, that's
this is a
just-
freebie. But yeah, like this is such a good idea of a kind of segment that we can do for the podcast of just like your favorite quote, why we either agree or disagree with it.
And if we don't like it, we just move on to the next.
yeah. No, but we can do multiple quotes. Like hopefully.
No,
Yeah.
I will talk to you about that quote because I am curious because it sounds like it's something you're fired up about.
Yeah.
And I do want to
Well,
better
'cause
understand it.
I'm just always lost. So I just like that one person in the world says that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not always
It's
that.
fine. I can be lost.
Self-preservation
Literally-
makes you feel
yeah,
better.
literally, everyone says it's a bad thing except Tolkien. So.
We're gonna love you.
I'm gonna remember that quote.
Okay, so yeah, this is
Love
this
you
has
too,
been Shower Thoughts. We are on Instagram, Shower Thoughts with SS. We are on Apple Podcasts. It's called Shower Thoughts. The logo is up, looking fresh. Shout out to Mo Pro, Muhammad Abdul Aziz
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
building.
He's-
The dog, and then hopefully we'll be we're gonna hopefully have like a good kind of streak of like recording more podcasts and having them out on time. And just let us know what you guys think. If you have thoughts about these, or if you have your own
If you have
favorite
shower thoughts
yeah.
about these,
Oh, if you have a favorite quote, Send
True,
it to
let's
us.
assess their
Yeah, actually,
quotes.
yeah.
Send us some
that's a better
quotes.
idea.
Maybe we'll like make it like an Instagram post or
I
something
won't
like that.
be as rude as I was
Yeah.
with Jay. It's just
Actually,
because Jay and
why
I
you
like
gotta be
know
so
we love
rude?
each other. Like
Yeah.
it's okay.
But we will be honest though. If it's a
Yeah.
bad quote,
Yeah.
we will tell you nicely.
But if it's a rad quote, we'll tell you thrisely.
yes, that's a rad quote. That's a rad quote.
That's a rad quote.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for showering with us. Once again, shampoo's on you next time.
Shampoo's on you.
Yeah.